Good afternoon, Pittsburgh. This is Dr. John Metcalf, Medical Director for Medical Marijuana Specialists. This is the second part of our professional series that I want to talk about the endocannabinoid system. Now, this is a basic physiological system that unfortunately is not being taught in most medical schools. In fact, less than 13% of medical schools teach an abridged course on the endocannabinoid system. And there's only two universities, that's Brown University and the University of Wisconsin, that actually teaches a course in the endocannabinoid. Now, less than 5% of physicians even understand the physiological components of the endocannabinoid system. The endocannabinoid basically is the body makes certain compounds that attach to the cell that creates a chemical response. And the body creates its own endocannabinoids called amantadine and 2-AG. Now, what happens is that these compounds are cell signaling. In other words, they attach themselves to the cell, create a response, and that creates other chemicals that are being released by the body to other cells so that they signal one another to try to bring the body into balance. Another way of looking at it is that in the central nervous system, you have neurotransmitters that transmit one compound from one neuron, one nerve cell to the next, and that creates a response. Now, the endocannabinoid, what's unique about it, is actually takes that signal and sends it back to the original neuron when there is too much or too little of that neurotransmitter available. And that's how the body tends to regulate itself. So by regulating itself, it brings the body into balance. And by bringing it into balance, then a lot of these chronic diseases hopefully will reset themselves so that the body's able to have a more healthier and quality and functioning in life. Now, as we get older, the endocannabinoid system doesn't become as efficient, due to age, due to genetics, epigenetics being the environment, and genetic structure. Now, so what we create is the phytocannabinoids, which is from the cannabis or the medical marijuana plant. And phyto means plant-based. And probably you've heard about THC as well as CBD. Now, these compounds are effective for anxiety, depression, seizure disorders, cancer in many ways, nausea, vomiting, anxiety, depression. There's a lot of different things that a lot of these compounds, because there's over 700 different compounds in the medical cannabis plant itself, not every one in every strain. And there's about 6,000 different strains. Now, the phytocannabinoids, in addition to that, they also have the terpenes. Terpenes is what give the cannabis flavor and aroma and its color. All of these are medicinal compounds, and what they do is they attach themselves onto the cell that I had mentioned earlier. These cell receptors are CB1, CB2, and there's also CB3 that's coming in the literature. There's also a lot of other of these receptors that I won't bore you with the physiology, but they all basically work by allowing the cell to create a response, and then that hopefully brings the body back into balance. There's also enzymes that degrade the phytocannabinoids or the endocannabinoids, like FAAH and MAGL. So these are compounds that are very important to help the body bring the endocannabinoid system back when it's out of balance. Now, there's also, back in the 1990s, Dr. Raphael McCollum from Israel came up with a endocannabinoid syndrome called clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. Now, in 2001, 2004, and 2016, there's been review articles on this. And conditions such as fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, irritable bowel syndrome, PTSD, and so many other chronic diseases are affected by the endocannabinoid. And if we can change the body through the phytocannabinoids, through medical cannabis, then hopefully the body will make adjustments and these disorders will hopefully start to rebalance themselves, and you don't need as much medication or no medications at all. So that's kind of the endocannabinoid system. Now, part 3, which we'll be doing shortly, has to do with the actual medical marijuana process. Certification, recertification, will address those issues. The fourth and final part of the professional series is the issues and questions and problems that physicians and medical people and patients have been asking us to resolve. And I will go over that in greater detail. So this ends part 2 of the medical cannabis professional series. Again, hopefully you be well and know that we care. You have a great day, and again, thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Thank you.